What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we're doing something new on well, it's not something new, it's the second time we've done it on this channel, and it's called we're reacting to story time. I really hope this works, because sometimes when I record on my iPad, I'm back on my iPad, it doesn't record the full it doesn't record YouTube footage, which is really annoying. But so hopefully this is gonna work. This is like the first time we're recording in my new sort of setup, like posters and everything, which I think is pretty cool. So it's going to be the first of hopefully many of story times. And last time I reacted to My Cat Got Me Pregnant, which is up here right now, like not a picture, the picture. So hopefully it's going to be good. Hopefully it's going to be good. So alright, first we need to decide which one we're going to look at. So, I made my crush get stuck on an island with me. It works. Sure. I hid in a room for years after I got Googled mum. Okay. I went homeless trying to impress my crush. Something is living inside my head. My brother is jealous because my parents... okay. Right. I think the one that sounds most ludicrous is I made my crush get stuck on an island with me. This sounds most ludicrous, so we're going to go with this one. Right, well, let's get into it.
Hey Talia, how did you enjoy my party last night? Randy asked. Oh, you weren't...
I really enjoyed it, thank you. I got a little bit tipsy, a little bit drunk, but I really enjoyed that party. I got a little bit tipsy, but you know, it's alright.
There, that's right, because I don't hang with losers. But guess who was there? Ronaldo, my soon-to-be boyfriend, she said as she smacked the...
Ronaldo. Ronaldo.
books from my hands and then walked away, cackling with her friends. Hi, my name is Talia. Don't forget to like,
Hello,
share,
Talia.
and subscribe to our channel. Oh yeah, and hit that notification bell to get these amazing stories first. If you do...
Guys, do that with my channel, not theirs, because this is absolutely ludicrous. I made my crush get stuck on an island with me. Yeah, right.
You'll find the person of your dreams. You would think that all the mean girls would have stayed in high school. But no, some of them follow you to college as well. I was looking forward to the upcoming summer break where I could get away from Randy. I already knew what I wanted to do to pass my time. Well,
that was a little bit weird. That was like she's enjoying a little bit too, too much of the scent. If you know what I mean. I don't know if you're old enough to understand what I mean, but it's a little bit weird. It looks like she's a hippie.
Wanted to do to pass my time. While scrolling through my social media, I came across this new reality TV series, Island Troopers, that was set to be taped somewhere in the South Pacific Islands. Wouldn't it be lovely to be stuck on an island with Ronaldo Christine? Who is
No, because I don't know who Ronaldo Christine is. It could be a serial killer. It could be a psychopath. We don't know who Ronaldo Christine is. He could literally be a psychopath who wants to kill us. So, I don't know. No, so I don't want to get stuck on an island, especially with that shark there. Nope. I hate sharks. My worst fear is my leg being chomped off by a shark. That's literally my worst fear, so no. No, definitely
you
not.
ask? Only the most handsome, adventurous troop leader of the Cub Scouts my brother Davian ever had. Before collecting my brother after a meeting one afternoon, I went to the bathroom. And when I came out the stall, there stood Randy leaning against the bathroom door. Do you really think you have a chance with Ronaldo? She snarled.
Do you really think you have a chance with Ronaldo? Do you really think you have a chance with Ronaldo?
Randy was also a troop leader. Move, I demanded coldly. Who's going to make me? Randy said as she placed her hands on her hips. As I stepped towards Randy with my fist balled tightly, the bathroom door opened. Oh, there you are, Randy, Mrs. Walker, the head of the Cub Scouts, said. I need you to help me finish planning our retreat over the summer break.
Where is this? Where is this? Are they in school or what? Where the heck are they? Because if they're in school and that woman walked in, I'd be a little bit concerned about the school security, especially if this is set in America. Because isn't school security in America meant to be really good? Make sure my microphone's there. Yeah, isn't school security in America meant to be really good in cases like school shootings or something like that? I don't know if I can mention that on the channel. YouTube, please don't give me a strike if I'm not meant to say that, because I don't know. Please, please.
Why, sure, Mrs. Walker, Randy said in a fake, innocent voice. I watched as Randy turned and walked away behind Mrs. Walker. Eventually, I found my little brother, and Ronaldo was there too, waving goodbye to the kids of the Cub Scouts. I immediately felt my knees go weak. "Hey, Ronaldo," I said nervously. "Have you ever heard of Island Troopers?" "No," he said.
Well, yes, I have actually, dear. I've been on it multiple times because I'm a crazy adventurer and apparently I ride sharks. So yes, darling, I have.
It's a reality show where you and another person would be stranded on an island. I've already signed up and I was wondering if you'd partner with me. We have a chance of winning $2 million. I said hopefully. I'm not sure whether I want to spend my vacation on a deserted island when there are so many other things to do. But wouldn't it be an awesome story to come back and tell your troops how you roughed it out on an island?
Imagine that's the noise that you made whenever you itch yourself. It's like, what the heck? You would not want to make that noise every time you scratch your head.
And how you
Not at all.
put all your training from the scouts to use? I think the boys would really be impressed. Wouldn't you be, Derek? I spun
Who the
around to my
heck
little
runs like
brother
that?
who nodded enthusiastically. I could see the wheels in Ronaldo's head spinning as he was trying to weigh the pros and cons. "Okay, I'll go." Ronaldo smiled. He gave me his number and told me to send him all the details. We said goodbye and I drove out the car park. Now I have to convince my mom and dad, I thought to myself. That night during dinner, I casually brought up the topic.
Why is she driving so fast? That she was going like 1,000 miles an hour. Like in England, like the speed limit on the normal roads like 30 or 35, like miles per hour. Not like a billion. Because like, she was like going. Shh, don't fall. Like what the heck? Like you definitely can't go that fast in England. Tell me, American people, if you're watching this, can you go that fast? Because I'm pretty sure you can't. So just tell me if you can. So
With
thank
me
you.
wanting to spend summer on a deserted island with a friend of mine. Think about it. I could win $1 million, which means I could pay my own college.
I thought she said 2 million. Let's just go back.
Chance of winning $2 million.
Yeah, right there she said 2 million. Here,
$1 million, which means I
which one is it? Which one is it? Sorry, animation time, whatever the flipping name is. They're lying to us, guys. They're lying to us. They said 2 million, now they say 1 million. What is it? 1 million or 2 million? Who knows? They're lying to us. They're lying to us. I'm going to say it one more time. They're lying to us.
pay my own college fees. I told my parents. "So, who would you be going to this island with?" My mother quizzed. "She's going with Ronaldo," my brother
She's
said,
going-
making kissing
She's going to Ronaldo. What the heck is he doing? Look.
noises. "That is totally out of the question," my father said, slamming his fist down on the table. "Dad, it's no big deal," I said and further explained. I told my parents that a camera crew would be there, so no funny business would take place with Ronaldo and I. What I didn't tell them was the camera crew would only be around a few hours a day. I also assured them that anytime I wanted to quit, that I would be allowed to do so and come home. My parents told me that they would think about it, and they changed the conversation. The next day, I didn't think anything of it when my parents said they were going to pick Derek up from his meeting. I was actually happy since I was behind on a few assignments, and I was glad that I didn't have to stop what I was doing. When he got home, Derek knocked on my door and poked his head around the door. Mom and Dad had a little chat with Ronaldo. He smiled and walked away. I shot up from my desk and ran to Derek's room and closed the door behind me. What did Mom and Dad say? What did Ronaldo do? I was almost too afraid to ask. Well, first, Mom asked Ronaldo what he planned to do with her baby girl all alone on an island, and if he planned to make them grandparents. Then Dad told Ronaldo that he knew where he lived, and he had no problem paying him a visit if he laid a finger on you, my brother said, before laughing hysterically. My heart sank, and I felt a part of me die that day. I was so embarrassed, but the thought of Ronaldo and I on a deserted island without Randy brought a smile to my...
Can I just ask? I haven't talked for about 20 seconds and I'm annoyed. What the heck? What? This storyline does not make sense. Because they're in college, that's like university, isn't it, in America? And it depends. I don't know how old you have to be like to go on TV shows in America. I don't know here. But it doesn't really make sense. But tell me, guys, would you let your daughter or son go in this TV show like spent like a month away. I think she said it was on a deserted island with camera crew from there. I think it was at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Would you let your kids do that, guys? Tell me.
Face. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. I could call Ronaldo tomorrow and straighten everything out. The next day I called Ronaldo, who was actually amused by what my parents did. He said I was lucky to have parents who actually cared about what happened to me. We laughed about it and then we chatted for a few minutes before we hung up. My parents also confirmed that I would be allowed to go on the show. It was the best day ever. That night
They said you're allowed to go on the show, but did the producers say you can go on the show? Yeah, your parents said that you might allow, but you have to audition and get the part, go onto the island, get to the island, and survive on the island. So, your parents said you're allowed, but that doesn't decide fate, does it? Yeah.
that Ronaldo and I were stranded on an island. I was sipping on a coconut while cooking fish over a fire. Ronaldo was in the water, his shirt off, as the setting sun glistened over his muscular body as he caught the fish with his bare hands. Finally, the day had arrived, and I bid my brother and parents goodbye on the dock. I walked over to meet Ronaldo, and we boarded the ferry with the crew and the members of the TV show. It took us a few days before we got to the islands, and those few days were fabulous. The last night on the ferry, we signed waivers saying that we weren't to interact with the camera crew unless it was a life or death situation. The camera crew would film us for 6 hours per day. Once we got to the island, we had a choice of waiting for a rescue team to come and get us, or we could quit along the way if it became too much for us. We would also be supplied with water, but we would have to source our own food and shelter. There were also a few bags stored on the island, one particularly with supplies from the TV show. The ferry docked at each island, and the director called the names of each team to get off. Ronaldo.
This kind of sounds like Hunger Games. If you haven't watched Hunger Games, basically like they get picked from each zone. I think there's like 12 zones, and basically they all get chosen like to do this massive event, and they had to like fight to the death. This is kind of what reminds me of this, because like they got supplies throughout, like sponsors and stuff. So this kind of reminds me of this kind of reminds me of the Hunger Games, because like they get supplies and they have to try to survive as long as they possibly can. It'd be the last one standing, if that makes sense. But yeah,
and I were the last team to get off the ferry. It took us about 10 minutes to get to swim to the island. I dragged myself onto the island and I lay on the hot sand. That was the longest 10 minutes of my life. After we rested for a few minutes, we decided that we needed to find the backpacks to see if we could use anything from them, as well as the survival backpack. After searching for a while, we found a backpack. It belonged to a man, and I didn't care. I just needed to get out of the wet clothes that I was in. In the backpack was a bag of chocolates. I never enjoyed chocolates so much. After that swim, I was starving. We found one bag. I think maybe we should find shelter and then look for lunch. Ronaldo nodded in agreement. He swung the bag off his shoulder, and we began to scout the land for shelter. Luckily, we found a little wooden hut that wasn't too far from a stream. The roof of the hut needed to be patched, but it would do. We just hoped that it didn't rain. The crew followed us from the time we got to the island. When they finished up for the day and told us we would see them tomorrow, I felt relieved. As soon as the camera crew left, Ronaldo complained about being too hot, and he said he would be inside the hut taking a rest, and if I needed him, that's where he would be. I shrugged and walked out the hut. I decided to do some exploring of my own.
Alright, so is this what's happening here? So she thought that this Ronaldo guy was like a big, muscular, strong, like Hercules sort of character, but he's actually like, he looks the part, but he doesn't act the part. Is that what this is? I think this is what it is. Like, she's like obsessed with him. Like, she has her own imagination of him, her own figure of him. But really, he's not like that at all. He looks like it, but he isn't really at all. I think that's what this is here, guys.
My first mission was to locate the survival bag that the crew hid. I walked further into the forested area of the island, making sure to keep tabs of how to get back. The sun peeked through the trees, and suddenly, there was a dark spot. I looked up and spotted a black duffel bag between the trees. I climbed the tree, and immediately I felt my skin being infested by ants. Oh, great, I said sarcastically. This tree is full of ants. I got the bag, and with it a few bites as well. I slung it around my shoulder and climbed down.
She looks like a chipmunk. Jeez, she looks like a chipmunk. She's like that is funny. That's funny. Okay.
I took a tin of tuna once on the ground and ate it quickly. Should I carry the bag back to camp? I spoke to myself. I thought long and hard and decided against it. However, I did take a few necessities that I thought would help with our survival. I also found a more suitable place to store the bag as well. By the time I got back, Ronaldo was up. Where have you been? Ronaldo asked with a raised eyebrow. Well, while some of us were able to get some beauty rest, some of us decided to actually do some work to ensure that we have a fighting chance to win this thing, I said, annoyed. I inhaled deeply. Look, in order for us to win this, we need to work together. I was able to find a few things that were scattered about the trees. I showed Ronaldo the things that I brought back, but instead of saying thank you, he huffed. And without a word, Ronaldo walked out of the hut and into the forested area. A few seconds after Ronaldo left, I heard a shout. My heart leapt into my throat as I ran out of the hut and towards the sound of the scream. I saw Ronaldo looking as though he saw a ghost. Ronaldo? I asked once I was next to him. What is it?
Oh darling, I sprained my ankle, I can't get up. I know. Oh darling, I stubbed my toe, I can't get up. Help, darling, just help me get up.
I just saw a snake. I hate snakes, Ronaldo said coldly. My jaw dropped.
Snag. Slaver a snag.
Yes, I heard what he said, but I couldn't believe it. You came to a deserted island and you were afraid of snakes? What did you expect to find here? Fluffy bunny rabbits and unicorns? I asked, looking at him with a puzzled look on my face. That night I went to bed with hopes that the following day would be better than our first day. Boy, was I wrong. Ronaldo complained about everything. The sun was too hot. The fish were too small. There were too many mosquitoes. Ronaldo complained more than he helped me get anything done. Then to top it off, he sprained his ankle.
Where are the other team members? Like, she said that there were other team members involved in this. They haven't mentioned them once.
While trying to pick coconuts from one of the trees close to
sprained
the
his
shore.
ankle. What did
The
I
idea
say?
of whisking away with Ronaldo and having a great time was quickly unraveling before my eyes. This wasn't as romantic as I hoped. Of course, he played his role well in front of the camera, but once we were alone, the true Ronaldo appeared, as though he had split personalities. One morning, I just couldn't accept Ronaldo's
Is that like
attitude
something from
anymore,
Star Wars?
and I decided to take a walk. After walking a little way from the hut, I realized that I forgot my knife and turned back to get it. As I was approaching the hut, I saw Ronaldo coming out of the hut and walking perfectly fine on both feet. I followed him and watched as he ran towards the ocean and dove in. That little trickster. I fumed. He was just faking a sprained ankle.
She's like Medusa. She looks like Medusa. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes.
And he had me doing all the fishing and even the patching of the hut alone? Well, let's see what little Mr. Trickster will eat for the rest of the day. I decided that I would not go back to the hut till that night, since there was still a few tins of food in the survival bag. Today, I would just lounge by the stream and relax. By nightfall, I returned to the hut. Hello? Is anyone there? I called as I rubbed the back of my head to ensure I played the role well. I watched as Ronaldo limped out of the hut. Talia, where have you been? I'm starving, he
Doing,
said.
doing,
Do I
doing,
know
doing,
you?
doing.
Well, where am I? I asked. The last thing I remember was walking to the stream. I must have slipped and fallen backwards. My voice trailed off. When I woke up, I followed the trail back to here. Ronaldo told me how he came to the island. He also gave me his version of what happened since we had been on the island, including him saving me from a snake and spraining his ankle along the way. I mustered everything up inside, not to roll my eyes as he told his made-up story. Then he said something that knocked the wind out of me. My boyfriend told me that this was a bad idea. Ronaldo sighed. I felt my jaw drop. You have a boyfriend? Yeah.
Ooh. Oh. That's a low blow for her. Wow, that's a low blow for her. Wow. Oof. Okay.
Why? He asked. I gulped. Is there any way to get off this island? The next day, Ronaldo spoke with the camera crew. It wasn't long before a rowboat came along and we were heading home. I felt as though I wasted the last 14 days of my life. I never dropped my brother off to meetings again, and before I crushed on anyone again, I decided to do a little background research before I did anything crazy.
Did she just say a little background research? That's crazy in itself. That is crazy in itself. Like, I get she likes, if she likes someone, like, talks to them, but don't go like full FBI, like searching for them in every possible location. Sorry, my lighting's like really screwed up. Like stop it, boing, stop it, boing. Sorry. Yeah, she seems a little bit mental to me. But all of these, every single, like, if we go off here now, every single one of these just like seem mental. Like, honestly, I pretend to be a rich I pretend to be a rich. I can't speak. I pretend to be rich to impress my crush. My boyfriend cheated on me, and he lived to regret it. I hid in a room for years after I googled mum. Okay, and then like all the others. But guys, if you want, I'll close that because she was absolutely mental. If you want to see more of this, guys, I'll be more than happy to do this. But yeah, I'll be like, super happy to do more of these. But yeah, so I certainly enjoyed listening to the fakeism. Is that a word? Fakeism? Alexa, is fakeism a word?
Yes, faking is a form of the word fake, which is usually defined as prepare or make something specious, deceptive,
Alexa, stop.
fraudulent.
Okay, but yeah, let's end this on a weird note, shall we? If you did enjoy this video, guys, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe. Bye bye.